Alright, ladies and gentlemen, my name, as you may or may not know, is TheKinformant, also Addison, that's my real name. And I'm here back after a little break of sorts to talk to you about the bi-weekly update. But before we get into that, real quick, I would just like to say, for anyone who is curious about the lessened frequency in videos, I'm going to put a link to my main YouTube channel, specifically one video in the description that you can watch and you can see kind of what the deal has been and what I've been dealing with. I talked about it a little bit on Twitter, but it's essentially mental health stuff that has impeded me from doing much of anything, and that's kind of why there hasn't been as many videos. So, with that out of the way, the only other thing to mention about me, haha, what? He's got golden blonde hair now. That's crazy. Who would have seen that coming? I don't know, but that's not important. So, let's get into the bi-weekly update for December 21st, posted by Yoel. Now, the big things going on, if you don't know, generally with Kin, I mean, there's a lot going on. Apps and Kinney coming to iOS nearly done, and lots of transactions and lots of accounts and rollout to Kick. I mean, there's so much that has happened, but the overall note that Yoel would like to mention is the fact that the biggest thing going on currently is the migration to the Kin blockchain. They announced the intent to move to our own infrastructure, their own infrastructure, our own infrastructure, it's all a family, pretty recently. And as they're getting close to the end of Q4, everyone's biggest focus is getting the ecosystem ready for mass adoption. So there won't be a ton of news about that in this, but a lot of news talking about the progress being made in regards to migrating to that one fork of Stellar, Kin blockchain, no longer being on Ethereum. So starting with the blockchain team, they are saying that they are shifting away from the Stellar blockchain and developing their own blockchain to simplify the technology and its connection to exchanges, which I was not aware of, but that's something that's going on. So they're currently working on the creation of the blockchain ecosystem, which means relations with partners, exchanges, wallets, all that type of thing, all that sort of good stuff. So they say that the big question they're dealing with is when can we migrate Kin and how will we be able to do it? And basically they say that's what the process they are working on right now is for. They're trying to provide a simple experience for the Kin buyers to be able to move all of their coin, and they want it to be as simple as possible, saying that more information about it will be shared once it's completely figured out. They also wanted to say that their back-end engineer, Ori, is perfecting the spam prevention mechanism, which is important because, you know, having a blockchain or any sort of crypto project, I mean, spam in general sucks, so it's good that we can get rid of that. But that's essentially all that we have for the blockchain team. So going into the developer experience team, who's working around what developers need and working on the Kin SDK, the big thing they're working on is, of course, the migration process. So they are working on using the developer SDK on top of the existing blockchain and figuring out how the migration is going to work for everything. But they said that yesterday, being December 20th, all 29 developers from the program received emails letting them know about the change and some upcoming steps that are going to be necessary. But they wanted to say that the migration process consists of two phases. One, which is building the tools that all the teams can use for their migration needs, which means an update to the Kin SDK with updated server features that will enable moving a user's account from the existing blockchain to the new blockchain. This way, people will be able to have one account and wallet or any account and wallet that will move seamlessly from the old blockchain to the new one. The other phase is integrating the Kin SDK into the developer SDK so that current and future developers can use it in their apps, because the Kin SDK and the developer SDK are different, because the Kin SDK can be used by any developer who wants to integrate Kin, while the latter is only used by the developers in the program and has some extra features. In January, the developers within the Kin app program, where we launched those 40 apps, or, you know, not quite 40, but 40 apps went in, a certain number came out. Those people can expect to receive the new developer SDK and start their migration process. So that's pretty good to know that in January we'll be able to start migrating to the new blockchain. They then talk about how they'll update their apps, release a new version. Once a critical mass of users have updated their app, then the developers can reach out to the team, letting the Kin team proper know that they are ready for migration. Once that happens, when the app is fully connected to the new blockchain, This will push everyone over, which will make sure that users won't feel the change. It'll be a seamless thing that people kind of don't even notice. They're also working on the Unity plugin, saying that it's basically ready, but it's currently connected to the Ethereum blockchain, and that once they're done making the adjustments to the new blockchain, it'll be released as a beta plugin in the Unity Asset Store, and saying that there are 2 developer programs on the way, the Kin SDK developer program and the Unity developer program, both of which are planned to be launched in Q1. Besides that, the team is working with Matt, the CMO, the guy who used to work for Twitch, who's very top-notch guy, working on the new website, which should be launched in Q1, which is odd to hear because we just... Oh, no, this is for a different website. My apologies. So this is specifically a website for the developer experience team and for developers to migrate to and see what's going on. They go on to say that with the standalone and ecosystem teams, there's not a ton to update. The Kinit team is working on building Typic, the first app to connect to Kinit and allow users to send kin between apps, and also bettering the move your kin between apps, and the explore the ecosystem features, which will allow people to kind of have a better idea of how they can move between apps and what apps and programs they can see and earn and spend kin within. The ecosystem team is continuing their work with partners and tailoring the new Kin SDK for their needs while preparing the groundwork for migration. One other note that Yoel wanted to bring up was the question he gets asked a lot, which is what is our plans with regard to the identity layer? He says that first they need to align on the meaning of the identity layer. So the identity layer, if you don't know, is kind of the ability to have one account with lots of kin that you can use and spend between apps, so you're not limited to your 100 kin in this app, your 1,000 kin in this other app, that sort of thing. They basically said that currently it's not a top priority, it takes low precedence, but the other features like moving kin between the apps is more important, so we're kind of getting a part of that without getting the whole thing, which is, good to hear. I like that. So, in essence, we've been updated on the fact that things are moving forward as planned, as they always are. And that's pretty much all there is to say. Things are going good. We're moving forward. Progress is being made. And that's pretty much it. Well, thank you all very much for watching. Thank you for coming back after my brief hiatus. Somewhat brief, doesn't matter. I do fully intend to be, kicking up the production of this type of thing, doing it all again. I'll get back to the full setup with my green screen and having the light up. 2 lights up. I only have the 1 up right now. But, as I kind of work through some personal stuff that I'm going on with, I need to put this in the back seat. But, hopefully I can still come back to this every now and then with increasing frequency and be able to keep you guys updated on what's going on with Kin and Kinit and everything else regarding my personal favorite cryptocurrency in the entire world. So, thank you all very much for watching. If you'd like to find me on Reddit or Twitter, I am at TheKinformant on both of those. If you would like to donate crypto, PayPal, those are the only 2 things to help this whole ship keep running. There are links in the description below about how to do that and where you can send it to. And I think that's all for now. So, thank you all very much for watching. Oh, also, just in case I don't get a video out in time, another video out before Christmas, Merry Christmas to everybody. I know Hanukkah's way past, but Happy Hanukkah to everyone who that might apply to. Merry holidays to anybody else. I know Boxing Day comes up, and that's the only one I'm aware of, so I'm sorry for not being the most informed on other wintertime holidays. But, Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah to everyone involved. Thank you very much to the Kin family and everybody involved for making this year and my involvement within the Kin project for over the past couple months a great experience filled with lots of love and positivity. So thank you all very much, and I will see you next time.